For this episode on rules, let's move on our Ansible tutorial repository, and I list the content, and you can see that we have configuration file before rules that I, I I I change the name. I make a copy and I change the name for the configuration file. So this one is exactly the content that we had on the previous video, the previous episode. Let's check that one if you didn't see it yet. And you can see that we have exactly all our tasks: copy YMK website, start Apache tool, and so on. And I'm going to show you right now the configuration file.yaml, and you'll be able to see that I've set up the role concept that going to make our playbook clear and more usable, more manageable. Okay, so let's view that file right now. On the first section, I kept the host all, and I keep the pre-task where I'm proceeding with all my updates and so on. And after this step, you're going to see that I have only the different roles that are defined, starting by the role base that's going to contain my SSH, my user SSH configuration. So you're going to be able to see everything in the following minute or the following line. Okay, so you can see I kept exactly everything that I had in the previous video and in the configuration file before. So
Welcome, 1, 2, 3.
install, update, and so on. So you can see our first role is defined in this configuration file by host on the first line. All become is always true, and rules column at the line, remove one space and write our base role. After that, we're going to define the main group of server that we have. We have the container server and we have our Linux servers. So container server true, the role name container server, and Linux server become true, and the role is Linux server. We have only one Linux server right there, but I want to let you know that you can apply everything that we're going to do on 1000 or 100 Linux server. So let's register this quickly, and I'm going to show you quickly the content of the role directory that I've created. So using the make command, I've created the directory roles, and that directory is the next step after setting up the configuration file. So we create that role directory, and inside that role directory, we're going to create a directory for each role that we have created in our configuration file. So you can see that we have base, we have container servers, and we also have Linux servers. Okay, and I also add a default site.html in that role directory in order to make our roles work 100% good without any issue. So because everything going to check on local. Okay, so we absolutely have to do that. Let's now see our task directory inside base and list it. You can see that I have created a main.yaml file, and that main.yaml file going to contain the task that we're going to run in the base role. So that task is add the SSH key for device. So it's exactly the task that we use in our previous episode. Okay, so I just copy it and drop it here, and just the task. You don't need to add anything else. You don't need to add also or something like that. Just copy the task and drop it. And it's the same concept that we proceeded with all our rules. So you're going to see that in container server directory, we also have task directory and a main.yaml. Same for Linux server directory. Okay. So we're going to move inside all of them, and you're going to see that for each roles, I've assigned or I've copied a specific task in the main.yaml that the role going to allow us to execute uh, more professionally. So you can see right there I have installed the name of it, install HTTP or and PHP on Docker server. So the tags I keep the same tags Apache 2, Apache 2 Ubuntu, and the name and so on. So it's exactly the section that we have in our previous playbook. Okay, so cd dash dash slash dash dash allow us to move twice behind. Okay, and you're going to do the same. I'm going to show you the one about Linux servers as well. It's the same concept. So for each one, you're going to create the directory for your role, the task directory inside that directory of the role, and finally, you're going to create a main.yaml file using maybe the vim command or nano, whichever the best one that you prefer to use. Okay. So on this one, I just went inside the previous configuration playbook file, and I just copy some tasks about Linux server, how to install HTTPD, and also yeah. Normally, I kept the next one as well. Normally here I messed up a couple stuff. Normally it's only the Linux stuff, Alma Linux and CentOS stuff that I should copy over there, but I still copy the container server stuff. So but I want to leave it like that. I just want to make you understand the concept. Tell me in comment if you have question. So I vim that Ansible that config file just to show you quickly that the remote user is device. I explained this in the previous episode. So I have inventory equal to inventory and the private key. I provided the path of the private key. So and I have deprecation warning equal to false. Okay. So in Ansible configuration file, deprecation warning false is saying that I don't want to take in consideration the deprecation error that we're going to have. Okay. So let's see quickly what we have here right now after everything. I'm going to vim that configuration file once again, and you can see what we have on the first section on the top is only everything about updating all our stuff, and I have my different roles, the base one and my main Linux and container server one. If you have 100 group, is it going to be the same? Yes. The answer is yes. So yeah, I'm doing quickly some kind of revision. Yeah, you see, we have our base container, we have our default, we have our main.yaml file and all our stuff. And when I cut them, you can see, yeah, add SSH key for device. And I'm going to try to show you once again everything uh, that are looking great right now. I've tried to make sure that everything is clean. I'm trying to re-explain you before to launch our playbook. So the container server, you see, we are proceeding with the selection of Apache and PHP, and we're going to check the same for Linux server right now, the main.yaml file for Linux server. And we have this, as I said before, I put I've assigned something that is not particularly for Linux stuff. This is a error that I did, but it's fine. Since we have the when module, normally everything gonna be alright. Okay, yeah. So roles is working just fine, and make sure to add Ansible user equal to root on your Docker container server in the inventory folder or file. Okay, because I got some issue when I didn't put them to run my bootstrapping. So I'm gonna proceed right now with the Ansible playbook configuration file, the YAML that check, just to show you how everything gonna work 100%. So I've run it a couple seconds off camera. That's why you're gonna see that a couple of action still showing green. You are not going to see them orange because I already run them to verify before to come on camera. So you see add SSH key for device 100% working. Uh, container server task, HTTP. Yeah, you can see that we have a warning could not match supply host pattern ignoring Linux server. So yeah, that's what I was talking about a couple seconds ago. Normally I should put the section for Linux stuff, CentOS stuff only on this one. That's why we have that warning message. But you can see that everything works 100%. Okay, so everything just work 100%. We have our task for base using to add SSH key for device that working. So I'm going to show you right now quickly once again what we have before rows and what we have right now with rows, how our code is looking. You can see that it's small, it's cleaner, and it's pretty light right now. This is the before, and I'm going to show you the after. You're going to see that the rows is just one of the awesome way to make our playbook more professional. So that's it for this episode. If you have learned something, please give a thumbs up, and I will really appreciate if you subscribe to this channel to give us some strength to provide more tutorial like that. Thank you for watching until the end, and see you. Bye.